students are punished for bad behavior in the classroom. Emily Hamilton spoke with the president of a local teachers union today. And Emily, I heard she told you that these days handling student discipline is often as much a part of the job as teaching is.
Lee, you're exactly right, and this new law gives teachers the discretion on whether or not they're being harassed, and students who do harass teachers will end up in alternative schools for disciplinary action. But there is concern that favoritism might play a role in just how this law is applied. Advocates say the new law is essentially an extension of the Safe Schools Act, but teachers still need additional protection from disruptive students.
And we need more of the enforcement of the law that's already in place and the new law that just passed.
Nancy Vetta, president of our local chapter of the American Federation of Teachers, says the tension and disruption in classrooms is growing.
There are some students who are quite violent and who actually harass teachers in the sense that, for example, they spit in their faces or hit them or threaten them.
Under the new law, students who are identified as harassers of teachers will be moved to disciplinary alternative education programs, often referred to as DAEPs. Vetta says local school districts are working to provide emotional support for children who need more attention. This in hopes that fewer students end up attending alternative schools.
If they are being neglected for whatever reason in their homes, whatever that maybe their parents don't know, then we're also looking at helping them figure that out and helping too, trying to offer parents an alternative.
Those teachers advocates fear that without additional mental health care in schools and available emotional resources for students, the number of children being sent to alternative schools will rise, and subsequently, so could the dropout rate. Lee?
All right, thank you, ma'am. Now, this law will go into effect on the 1st of September. We contacted CCISD for comment, but so far we haven't heard back from them. Well, just ahead, be on the lookout for flying objects over the downtown area tomorrow.
But these are not UFOs. They're UAVs, better known as drones. We'll tell you what they're up to after the break.
And we had another beautiful day here in South Texas for July. The humidity was down. Let's take a look at our weather bug camera. This one from Beeville at Aztec Chevrolet. And it's sunny and hardly any wind there at all and very dry. And the same over in the First Community Bank weather bug camera, downtown Marina, 86 degrees right now with a light east wind. How low do we go tonight after setting a record low last night? In a few minutes, I'll be back to tell you all about it.
Chris 6 News is brought to you by NAC Co-op Energy, your not-for-profit electricity source for home and business. Now, Chris 6 News at 6 continues.
A couple of Corpus Christi parks will be closed at various times over the next few days as part of a drone research project. As we've reported, NASA has teamed up with A&M Corpus Christi to study the use of drones in urban environments. Some test runs for research flights are scheduled for tomorrow and Sunday and Monday, so the Water Garden Park will be closed tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Cole Park's going to be closed from 8:30 Monday morning till 3:30 Monday afternoon. Well, the downtown Corpus Christi area will also be one of the sites for that test program, so be on the lookout for that. And we hope that you enjoyed the break from all that stifling summer heat.
I know I did. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty good, but you know, those temperatures are going back up, and that actually has animal care services concerned. They've seen an increase in calls about dogs left in hot cars. So if you own a pet, the folks with animal care services want to remind you that there's a city ordinance that prohibits leaving pets in hot cars.
Say it's 85 degrees outside. Within 10 minutes, it's going to be 102. They need access to shade. They need access to fresh water. Of course, a lot of it makes sense, but they could go through a lot of water quicker than you think.
Now, if you spot an animal in a locked vehicle, Animal Care Services says to call police. Call them. Do not break a window to help the animal because that's actually against the law. Two Port Aransas piers heavily damaged by Hurricane Harvey are being torn down. We are talking about the pier at Roberts Point Park and the Ansel Burnett Pier on Station Street. The crews are going to begin preparing for their demolition tomorrow. The teardown is expected to take about 3 months. Listen, if you like Cajun food, oh, you're going to love this next story.
That's a little wonton roux, huh?
Yes.
Razzoos.
Razzoos, yeah.
Well, they call it razzoos here.
Razzoos, yeah.
Cajun cook, but it's not the same as razzoos as in New Orleans.
No,
Right.
they're totally different. Yeah,
But they're coming to La Perla Mall,
Yeah, they
which is going to be a good thing. The Dallas-Fort Worth chain has 19 locations across Texas, and mall officials are telling us now that a razzoos will open here sometime in 2020, and it's going to be built. And that parking lot right next to J.C. Penney Construction will get underway this fall, and then we'll go over there and test it out, see what it
And
tastes
then
like.
we'll let the good times roll. Right?
Yeah, let the good times roll. For the Cajun food anyway. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill still clearing the air on vaping issues.
E-cigarette use has actually become a huge problem among teenagers.
We still looking?
You have 3 minutes and you're walking back.
Save it for the end, okay? Save it.
watching Chris 6 News with Lee Sosley, Katia Udiarte, Alan Harwell, and Dale Nelson. This is Chris 6 News at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. A two-day hearing on vaping among teenagers wrapped up today on Capitol Hill. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 5 high school students vape. That is a 78% increase in 1 year from 2017 to 2018. Now, use among middle schoolers is up 50% in middle schoolers. That's 1 in 20. Critics cited Juul e-cigarettes, their marketing to teens.
The presenter was sending mixed messages by saying Juul is totally safe and following up every totally safe statement with, but we don't want you as customers.
And Juul says it has removed some of its flavored e-cigarettes from stores and refocused marketing to adults. And Krista Spahn Shoreline has once again received national recognition for its treatment of stroke patients.
Now, the American Heart Association and the American Stroke Association have presented their Gold Plus Award to the hospital. And as our Shelby Coppage reports, this is the 9th straight year now that the hospital has won that award.
If you or someone you know suffers a stroke, the right medical care is essential. Dr. Morgan S. Campbell III tells us what Krista Spahn Shoreline does so well to stand out nationally.
When patients present to the emergency room with a possible stroke, they're very rapidly assessed. I mean, as soon as you come in the door, the doctors, nurses, and associates are evaluating that patient immediately to assess their stroke and if they're a candidate for certain treatments.
The hospital also provides patients with treatment plans and information for when they go home. Strokes are a major health problem in Corpus Christi. Dr. Campbell says they see an average of 700 to 900 stroke patients in their hospital alone. And the patients are getting younger.
We have people with just uncontrolled diabetes and high blood pressure starting at a young age. So instead of your 60s or 70s, we have people having their strokes in their 30s or 40s.
Dr. Campbell says people having a stroke often don't even recognize it, and that those around them are who spot the symptoms first. He says everyone should educate themselves on the 2 words he swears by: be fast. B stands for balance, any sudden difficulty or vertigo. E for eyes, blurry or missing vision. F for face, sudden noticeable drooping. A for arm, weak and not able to lift. S for speech, slurring or inability to talk. T, time is brain. It's time to seek help. Shelby Coppage, Chris 6 News.
Now, there is some good news in all of this because there are things that you can do to lower your risk for a stroke.
Yeah, for example, exercise regularly and eat a healthy diet.
6 Weather is brought to you by Aztec Chevrolet in Beeville. Visit AztecAutoplex.com. Now, the most accurate weather forecast in South Texas with Chief Meteorologist Dale Nelson.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for being with us as we take a look at our record low achieved this morning of 69 degrees. That broke the old record set 43 years ago back when we had 70. So that 69 this morning was the lowest temperature since the 13th of June when we got down to 68, so in about 6 weeks. So it was well deserved. A function of dry air in the region. You can see that here on the water vapor imagery. The brown is very dry air. The dew point temperatures are only in the 60s. Normally they're in the mid to upper 70s. And unfortunately, they are going to go back up. So it's too much of a good thing. So with the rising dew point temperatures, the humidity increases. Low 70s tomorrow, mid 70s Saturday. So kind of a frown and a big frown. And we want to turn that upside down, but we're going to have to wait till the next cold front. That's a ways off. Into Sunday and Monday. All right, so the humidity will be back, and it is directly related to the winds, which are going to be down again tomorrow and Saturday, but increase to windy here on Sunday and Monday. Little bit of opportunity right in here late Saturday into Sunday to see a little bit of rain, and then the winds will blow all that rain opportunity away. Our short-term forecast is dry and clear with a nice sunset in mid-80s by 7 o'clock, mid-70s by midnight. And yes, we'll be down near record low levels again in the morning. The record low for tomorrow is 70, and we'll be very close, 71 at 5 a.m. and a forecast low of 71. That might need to be altered down to 70 with the light winds later tonight. Temperatures in the upper 60s inland to the upper 70s along the immediate coast and on area beaches. So not as comfortable tomorrow morning and 72 degrees, but still not bad. Lots of sunshine and 89 at noon and 91 with increasing humidity and a light to moderate breeze at 5 o'clock tomorrow. We'll end up with a high of 93 with 97 inland and 86 over in Port Aransas. Satellite and radar shows clear skies now. High pressure dominating at the surface all the way up into the Tennessee Valley. This front in the Gulf of Mexico, Hurricane Center took another look at this today, said there's nothing there to worry about. And I agree with him. As we talked about last night, this just got sheared apart. So it's not an issue and not a problem, as most of that moisture stays offshore. The other big weather story, it's highly unusual. The eastern 2/3 of the country is 80 degrees or less, in the 80s and 70s. No 90s east of the Rockies, except for the Amarillo area. Here's the forecast then. The moisture tries to return tomorrow, but doesn't happen. That front backs up as a warm front and brings a few showers here on Saturday, but not many, and they get blown away then on Sunday with the winds. So 71 tonight, 93 tomorrow, 72 and 74 and 92 on Saturday with a few showers around. By the time we get to Sunday, it gets windy and 94 degrees. So it's back to normal here in South Texas, normal for El Nino, which is dry and hot as we move into the latter part of the weekend and all of next week. Look at that 98 there on Wednesday of next week. That is unbearable compared to what we've got right now.
Let's hold on to this,
Yeah,
please. Wish we could, yeah.
It'll come back, but not until probably the end of September.
Coming up in sports, the high school sports season drawing near. You'll notice some major changes out at Cabinets Field and Buck Stadium this year.
Yeah, and that includes new clear bag policy. Alan is going to update that policy after this quick timeout.
I'll just keep on talking.
You keep on talking, yeah.
Now, the Coastal Bend Sports Authority, Alan Harwell, with your Chris 6 Sports Report.
Hi, good evening, everybody. As we first reported last week, CCISD is implementing a new clear bag policy for all athletic events at Cabinets Field and Buck Stadium. But you know what? Those are not the only changes you will notice. Parking just got a whole lot easier over at Cabinets, especially on the home side. A couple of older buildings got torn down, replaced by this brand new parking lot. That's right, 200 new spaces have been made available this coming season. And the new clear bag policy with team logos have arrived at Myra's Sports and More. They're also available in a ladies' clutch bag size, got to you. And generic bags are also available at HEB and Academy. The bottom line is every time you attend an athletic event, either at Cabinets or Buck, regardless of sport, you're going to be required to use that clear plastic bag. It's just a sign of the times.
With the clear bag policy, most people, like last year when we were going to the different playoff games, ladies put all their items in there. It's just a clear bag policy so that you can see what's inside your purse. You can see what's inside the bag. Some people use the bag to carry different items, whether it was maybe a little jacket in there or things like that. So it helps to speed up getting people into the stadium.
By the way, Myra Sports and More tells us they will be selling clear bags at the stadium. So if you show up and don't have one, they will make them available for purchase. Hey, Cowboys start training